Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to class 9th of Indus Valley Public School, Raj. My dear children, today we are going to study second part of the lesson, The Sound of Music from Beehive. And the part 2 is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So here in this part we are going to study about the Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was a renowned Shehnai player in India. He is a legend because he did something which has historical significance. He played the Shehnai on the day India got independence. May I know which day, on which date we got independence? 15th August 1947. So at the Red Fort, before the Prime Minister of India, who was the Prime Minister at that time? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So he gave his speech. So before that, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai in order to signify something auspicious. Something auspicious for the whole country was about to happen. India was about to get freedom. And so, on that occasion, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai, and so he is a legend. Now I think everybody came to know why Ustad Bismillah Khan is a legend, because he played the Shehnai on the day, and after that our country got freedom. Okay children, so this is what is in this lesson, and how the origin of Shehnai was there, and about the Ustad Bismillah Khan, how he adapted the music, how he got success in his life. We will be studying about this thing. One more thing, I have marked the different difficult words and I have given the meanings in the bracket. Please, everyone will write the difficult words and the meaning in your notebook. Okay? So do not ask me what to do with that. You have to write all the difficult words that are highlighted, that are bold, and the meaning that are written in the bracket. Okay children? So coming to the second part of the lesson, the sound of music, and the name of that is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So before that, one more task you have to do. Just identify these music player. Do you know these people? What instrument do they play? So you have to identify who all are they, what kind of instrument they are playing, and you will write down the names of these instrument player in your notebook. So identify who all are they. Okay, this is your task and everyone will do. So now think of Shehnai, and the first thing you will probably imagine in a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro, playing this instrument. Okay, so whenever any auspicious or any religious occasion is there, ऑटोमेटिकली शहनाई कम्स टू योर माइंड. वेडिंग होता है तो बोलते शहनाई बज रही है, शहनाई बजने का टाइम आ गया एंड ऑल. वी यूज टू से नो. सो इट इज इन द ऑस्पिशियस ओकेजन वी यूज टू play all these musical instruments. Okay my dear children. So now coming to the first stanza of your first paragraph of your lesson. So Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a music instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill unpleasant sound. So shrill is here, that is very sharp unpleasant sound. Okay, बहुत तीखी सी आवाज़ थी. Banned means prohibited, not allowed to do the things, and unpleasant, that is not liked by anyone. So what happened? So pungi was a instrument, musical instrument, the preceders of the Shehnai. तो शहनाई के पहले पुंगी होती थी, वो बजती थी, जो कि उसे मना हुआ. तो when the Mughals ruled India, before the Britishers came, there was a very famous Mughal ruler named Aurangzeb. So he did not allow the pungi be played in his royal residence because he felt that it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Okay, so pungi became a generic name for reed noise maker. So reed means generic is a name given to a class or group or a whole. तो genetics बोलते हैं ना, जैसे वैसे तो generic हो गया. तो generic Names means a scientific name for a broad classification of something, and the meaning of reeded is a wind instrument which have reeds like flute, clarinet, etc. So what happened in this line? So any musical instrument which is made up of reed, like we have flutes, clarinet, they are all classified as pungi. So pungi is a broad term for any type of instrument which is uses wind to produce sound. जिसमें हम लोग हवा देख के बजाते हैं, that is the pungi. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. So revived means जिसमें हम कोई चेंजेस करते हैं, brought back to life. बोलते हैं ना रिवीजन करना है, या हम लोग कोई पॉलिसी होता है, या गवर्नमेंट कोई लॉ बनाता है, या कोर्ट कोई लॉ बनाता है, रिवीजन रिवाइज्ड हो जाता है, तो मीन्स कुछ अपडेशन के साथ आना, टू बी अपडेटेड. ओके, सो एस औरंगजेब has banned all these reeded noisemaker. So he had banned pungi in his royal residence. So no one thought that one day such noisemaker, such instrument which made unpleasant sound, would be played and their sound would be liked by audience. So now what happened? So a barber of a family, a professional musician who had access to the royal palace, decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. So what do you mean by barber? The person who used to cut the hair. So see here, invention of Shehnai. Here you will be able to understand what is there. So what is there in this line? Tonal is the sound quality of the music instrument. So as the pungi had an unpleasant sound, so there was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians, and he wanted to play the pungi, but he knew that the sound produced by pungi was unpleasant. So he decided to improve the sound. Now what he did? Let's see. So he chose a pipe. So what he did? He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that has longer and broader than the pungi, and made 7 holes on that body of the pipe. Hollow means empty from inside. Okay. So what he did? The barber took a pipe and he had hollow stem. एक तरह से बीच में से खाली ऊपर का इसने stem लिया. It was longer and broad than the pungi. He made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. कितने holes किए? 7. So see how is it? Look at this Shehnai. There is a type of this instrument and there are 7 holes. Okay. So when he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sound were produced. So he started playing Shehnai. It's the name was not invented, but whatever the instrument he made, he started playing. So some of the holes were closed, some of the holes were open. He was playing on that particular instrument with his fingers, and then when he was playing, a melodious sound came. Then what happened? He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. So when the barber played this instrument in the royal court in front of Aurangzeb, everyone liked the sound produced by it. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. Now this instrument was different from pungi, but no name was given to this instrument. Now it is a time to give the name to this particular instrument. How it came? Okay. So as the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah chambers and was played by a nai. Nai means barber. The instrument was named as Shehnai. So why? So there the story behind the name given to this instrument. What is that? This instrument was played for the first time where? In the royal residence of Shah. Shah was the name given to the king, and the Mughals called the kings as Shah. So as the nai, that is the Indian term used for a barber, had played it for the first time, so they called it Shehnai. So the first part Shah, which stands for Shah, and the second part for nai, which is barber. So this instrument was termed as Shehnai. So now you understand why we call Shehnai, how this term Shehnai originated. Okay, so it is a GK question, I think so. Okay, children? Fine. Coming to the, see how pungi, then barber is there, and both pungi and barber we joined and Shehnai came. Now coming to the next part here. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. So auspicious means promising to bring good fortune, because when it was played before the independence, then it gave the independence to our country. Okay. So the sound which was produced by Shehnai was considered to be a good omen, and so it was played on good occasion. And for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. So indispensable means without which a piece of work cannot be done, something very necessary. Okay, so you can hear Shehnai being played at many temples also, weddings also. So any of the auspicious occasion will be incomplete without the music of Shehnai, without the Shehnai instrument. In the past, the Shehnai was part of Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal court. Okay, so ensemble means group. So ensemble here consider a group of instrument. The Shehnai was a part of Naubat. Naubat, what do you mean by Naubat? Naubat is an Urdu word and it means tradition, ensemble, that means a traditional group of 9 musical instruments. Okay, so these 9 musical instruments were played at the royal court, and Shehnai was also a part of Naubat. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. The Shehnai was played at the King's Court. ठीक है, पहले King's Court में, temples में and wedding में हुआ. Then it was used on stage in performance, and to bring this instrument on the stage, here whole credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan, who was a legendary Shehnai player, and people wanted to hear him play the Shehnai. So he was the person who gave Shehnai a stage show, who brought Shehnai onto the stage. Next paragraph. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient state of Dumran in Bihar. So what happened when he was of 5-year-old? Who? Bismillah Khan. He lived in an old state named Dumran in present days Bihar state. He used to play Gilli Danda. See, this is Gilli Danda. आप लोगों ने भी खेला होगा ना? That is Gilli Danda. An old sport quite similar to cricket. So he would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So laddu, you know, no? What is a laddu? Every time you go to mandir and all, temple, and used to give the prasad, no? That is only the laddu. No other laddu is here. Okay. So now he would go, when he was 5-year-old, he used to play Gilli Danda, and then he would go to the nearby Bihariji temple. Although Bismillah Khan was a Muslim, he would go to the temple and he would sing this song, Chaita, in Bhojpuri language. Okay. And after singing that song, after finishing that song, he would get a big laddu as a reward. Usko wo prize mein milta tha. And the weight of that laddu is 1.25 kg. This was a prize given to Bismillah Khan by local Maharaja for singing the Chaita. Okay. So this happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So civilian means national award. Okay. The writer says that this incident occurred when Bismillah was 5 years old, that he would get this laddu as a reward. And after 80 years, Bismillah Khan earned the highest civilian award in India. What is that? The Bharat Ratna. So This is the distance that he has traveled in his life. At 5 years of age, he would get a 1.25 kg laddu as a reward, and at 80, he achieved the highest national award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna. Next paragraph. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belonged to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. So he was born on 21st March 1916 and he was from the musician family, and the place where he was born is Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Bakhsh Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur king's court. His father Paigambar Bakhsh and other parental ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So parental ancestor means ancestors of the fathers. हमारे पूर्वज, पिताजी के पूर्वज, जो हमारे पूर्वज के पूर्वज, that is the ancestors. So the lineage of his father's side was full of great Shehnai player. Bismillah Khan belongs to a famous musician family, music family, and everybody used to play Shehnai. We can say Bismillah Khan ji acquired the skill of playing the Shehnai from his ancestors. His grandfather was a great Shehnai player. He played the Shehnai in the court of Bhojpur king. His father and all parental ancestors were also great Shehnai player. Next, the young boy took to music early in life. Okay, so very early he started learning the music. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, now we call as Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle practice in the Shehnai. So what happened? When Bismillah Khan ji was of 3 years old, his mother took him to her parental house, to his maternal uncle's house. And I think everybody know what do you mean by maternal uncle. It is the house of the mother, okay, mother's side. So they lived in Benares, and when Bismillah Khan saw his maternal uncles play the Shehnai, he was attracted. He was fascinated towards it, and he also wanted to learn playing it. Okay, so soon Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle Ali Bakhsh to the Vishnu temple in Benares. Ali Bakhsh was only on a duty, so he used to go there and he used to play Shehnai. So Ali Bakhsh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on the end. Captivated means attracted. On the end for a very long time without stopping. Continuously he used to see how his uncle is playing. Okay. So when Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Ali Bakhsh play the Shehnai, he would get attracted towards it, that he would sit there for hours listening to him play the Shehnai. Next line. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. So now what happened? Gradually, slowly Bismillah Khan also started learning playing the Shehnai, and he would practice throughout the day, and he never used to get tired because he was so much attracted towards it. He was so much enthusiastic to learn the Shehnai, so he was practicing the Shehnai long days and he was not getting tired. This is what the dedication he was having to learn to play the Shehnai. Okay, for years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunt where he could practice his solitude. So what happened? Apprentice is a trainee, and haunt means the place you like to come, where you like to visit many times. Okay, and solitude, where you want to be alone. So now what happened? So in this line it is told that many years Ustad Bismillah Khan remained in Benares. He would visit the temple of Balaji, temple of Mangala Maiya, and would remain on the bank of river Ganga, where he would practice playing the Shehnai all by himself. Okay, so here is that place where he used to be there, the side of river Ganga. The flowing water of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai. So here we come to know about the talent of Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was so inspired and motivated by the river Ganga, it provoked him to improve his performance, and he also invented many ragas that were considered impossible to be produced by a Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan worked hard and invented different sounds with the Shehnai. Okay. Now, at the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. So, when Bismillah Khan was of 14 years of age, he went with his maternal uncle Ali Bakhsh to Allahabad Music Conference. Conference is a where we used to play. It's a type of concert or the meeting place where we used to play the music. Here it's related to the music, so already it will be a meeting of the musical people or musical playing people who used to play instruments. Okay. Next line. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." The recital means performance. So after the performance, what happened? Ustad Fayaz Khan, known for classical vocalist, okay, Fayaz Khan was a vocalist, was impressed by his performance and said that if he would work hard like that, he would make a name in the field of music. Coming to the next line. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Now he was coming where? On radio. So when the All India Radio started, it's a radio station at Lucknow. Ustad Bismillah Khan started performing from there. And every now and then his Shehnai performance would be on air. So every time he used to play Shehnai and it is heard where? It is heard in the radio. So when India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. So Ustad Bismillah Khan was the first Indian to greet the entire nation through his Shehnai. He congratulated, he wished everybody through his Shehnai. He played the Shehnai from the Red Fort on this memorable occasion. Okay. So now he poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to the audience, which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tries with Destiny speech. The rag that was played by Ustad Bismillah Khan on the occasion of the independence of India was Rag Kafi. He played it from the Red Fort. Who played? Bismillah Khan, Ustad Bismillah Khan. And what he played? He played Rag Kafi. So after his performance, the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, gave his speech, Tryst with Destiny. So Tryst, what do you mean by Tryst? That means luck. That means fortune. Okay. Next, Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpet and other sovereign. So taken in by means attracted or charmed by sovereigns, things given in memory of a place, person or event. बोलते हैं ना टोकन ऑफ लव, जब कोई हमारे पास आता है और हम उसे गिफ्ट देते हैं फॉर रिमेम्बरेंस कि उसने यहाँ विजिट किया था, दैट इज सोवरेन, अ टोकन ऑफ लव, a token of respect, that whenever he see that particular thing he will remember us. That is the sovereign. Okay, so here in this line it is told that Bismillah Khan gave many performances in India as well as in the abroad. So some of them are memorable, like the one at Afghanistan. The king of Afghanistan, King Zahir Shah, really liked Bismillah Khan's performance, and he gifted him many things which were made in Afghanistan, like Persian carpet, etc. So that Ustad Bismillah Khan would remember his first visit abroad, that was to Afghanistan. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was also impressed after hearing Bismillah's play at a festival, that he named a film after the instrument called गूंज उठी शहनाई. सबने सुना होगा ये तो गूंज उठी शहनाई है ना. So now coming here, so the king of Afghanistan was not only one who was attracted to his शहनाई, but गूंज उठी शहनाई was a name of Hindi movie, and it was made by Vijay Bhatt. He was a film director, and he really liked the sound of the shehnai played by Bismillah Khan, and that is why he named his movie as Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a national-wide chart buster. So what do you mean by chart buster? Chart buster means record breaker. Okay, so what happened, there was a song in the movie Goonj Uthi Shehnai, and the name of the song was Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. It was composed by Ustad Bismillah Khan and became a chart buster, that means record breaker. It broke all record. See, my voice and singing is not that much good, so I am reciting, I am telling this line Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya in a same flow. So you might be knowing this song, so just listen this song Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, and you will hear this Shehnai song. So everybody try to listen this song. Okay, just search this song in your YouTube and listen, and there observe the sound of music and the sound of Shehnai. Okay, this is your task, you people do. So next line, the next line, despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's venture in film music was limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas Kannada venture Sanadi Appanna. So celluloid means old-fashioned way of referring to film, and venture is a project that often involve risk. दो लोग का combination होता है जहाँ पे risk की संभावना होती है. So in this line it is told that although this song was a chartbuster, blockbuster, record breaker, Bismillah Khan got a lot of success in this film, but he composed music only for two films. The name of the films were Goonj Uthi Shehnai, made by Vijay Bhatt, and a Kannada movie. And what is the name of Kannada movie? By Vikram Srinivas, called Sanadi Appanna. This is the names. Only for these two movies he had composed the music. Now, I just can't come to the term with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. He says with emphasis. So now what he is saying, that emphasis means to lay stress on something. So Ustad Bismillah Khan would say that he did not like the artificial world of film. Artificial world of films and the glamour that was there in the film world. That's why he did not compose music for any movies, okay? Because he did not like the world of movies, world of films. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Thick and fast means he got n numbers of award. He got a lot of award and was recognized at many places. Okay, so Bismillah Khan got a lot of recognitions and was honored with awards. Now next line. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So Bismillah Khan ji performed all over the world. He performed in United States of America, where at the Lincoln Center Hall. He performed in Montreal, Australia, in the World Exposition. He performed at the Cannes Art Festival, and he also performed in Japan at the Osaka Trade Fair. Next line. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mosque Ustad Bismillah Khan. So Tehran is located in Iran. Where it is located? In Iran. So Bismillah Khan was so famous all over the world that in Tehran an auditorium was named. An auditorium has been named after him, and the name of the auditorium was Tahar Mosque Ustad Bismillah Khan. This was the name of the auditorium. Okay. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. Conferred here means given, usually an award or a degree, you can say. So Ustad Bismillah Khan has received award with these national awards. So now next, in 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, "All I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music." So coveted here means desire, much desire, expected. So in this line it is told that when Ustad Bismillah Khan received India's highest national award, highest civilian award, like Bharat Ratna in the year 2001, his eyes were shining, gleaming like anything. He was very happy because his hard work had been recognized, and he gave an important message to the country. What was the message? He told all the Indians to teach music to their children, because music is the richest tradition of India. What is that? Music is the richest tradition of India. He said that even the Western countries, foreign countries wanted to learn Indian music. So every Indian citizens should make their children to learn music. Why? Because it is the richest tradition of the India. So now, in spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Sahab, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumraon, and they remain for him the most wonderful town of the world. So in this line it is told that although Ustad Bismillah Khan ji travelled all over the world, he was given so much respect and recognition, he remained rooted. Okay, Benares, where he learned music, and Dumraon, where he was born and brought up, were the two most wonderful towns of the world for him. He was so down to the earth that although he had travelled all over the world, still he was attached to his birthplace. Then next line, a student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahab asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Replicating means making a copy of something to have the duplicate. Okay. So there was a student of Ustad Bismillah Khan, and he wanted that Ustad Bismillah Khan should set up a Shehnai school in USA. He promised that he would recreate the temple of Banaras in America for Ustadji as he would miss it. Now so he is saying that he should come there and he will make temples that he used to see in the Banaras and all. So in this, what he said, Bismillah Khan was attached to river Ganga also. So now he is saying that what you will do for river Ganga. So he asked his student that would he transport the river Ganga also to America. So he wanted to say that he could not leave India. In short, he said, like one of his student, he asked him to come to USA. He will make the temple similar to the temple of Benares. Now, next requirement of Ustadji was about the river Ganga. Then he said, will you be able to bring river Ganga to me also, to me in America, because I am attached to river Ganga also. So in short, he is denying the offer of his student. So he wanted to say that he could not leave India. He was attached not only to the temples of Benares but also the holy river Ganga. Now next line. Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think only of Benares and holy Ganga. And while in Benares, I miss the unique Matha of Dumra. So yearning means longing, have a desire of something. So now Ustad Bismillah Khan said that whenever he visited any foreign countries, he longed, he missed to see India. He wanted to return to India. And then he says that when he was in India, in Mumbai, he missed to visit Benares. He loved to visit Benares and the river Ganga. And when he was in Benares, he missed his birthplace, Dumra, and the Matta where he sang Chaita and was rewarded with a laddu of 1.25 kg by the Maharaja. So, coming to the next line, there is one interview was going on, and the interview was taken by Shekhar Gupta. It is an article of Reader Digest, article from Reader Digest. What is the Shekhar Gupta is asking? When partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? So on this, what Bismillah Khan said, God forbid me leave Benares. Never. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. I was there for about an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistanis and salam alaikum to the Indians. I had a good laugh. So he said, I did only this much. I never been to Pakistan. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich culture heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Devout means believing strongly in a religion and obeying its law and following its practice. So in this line it is told that here the writer says that Ustad Bismillah Khan was a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. His work was beyond the religion barriers. Although he was a strict Muslim, he followed the Muslim laws, but every morning he would play the Shehnai at the Kashi Vishwanath temple, which was a Hindu temple. This shows that he did not have the barriers of religion in his mind. He was a true Indian. He considered music to be the Indians' richest cultural heritage. Okay, now coming to the next line. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. He was given a state funeral and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. So So Ustad Bismillah Khan had been ill for a long time and he died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90. The entire country mourned the death of the legendary musician. There was a holiday for one day and he was given a state funeral. So this is all what about the Bismillah Khan. So morning means here extremely sad. So this is what about the Bismillah's Ustad Bismillah Khan's biography. You can say how he started the music, when he was born, where he was born, what all kinds of obstacle he faced in order to become a famous musician, not only in India but outside the India also. How many rewards he used to get. He got all this thing we have studied in this lesson, in this part, the sound of music part 2. So my dear children, now what you have to do is that I have given you the task. You have to identify the pictures that I gave you in the starting. See these pictures starting of the lesson. Come here. These are the pictures. Identify these all musicians and you will write down the all difficult words which I gave you, okay, in your notebook. What is there highlighted and the word meanings are given in the bracket, okay. Complete your things. If any doubt is coming up, please do ask me. You are free to call me up anytime, and please complete your work. In the next video I'll provide you with the summary of both the part of lesson number 2 and the question answers of that. So please go through both the part of the lesson number 2 from Beehive. Till then, bye bye, take care and thank you so much my dear children.